All right, welcome back to another episode of Work the Crowd podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Douglas Harden, and to my left is the Mr. Jacob Klukas, the brains behind the operation, does all the research.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Well, a little bit. We also have a very special guest today, Mr. Zach Imbergia. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Excited to be here. Appreciate it. Looking forward to this.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what you have to say about the Super Bowl.
I think he'll be pulling for the Chiefs if you could see the
Yeah, I
jersey.
think he's going for the Chiefs for
yeah.
sure. All right, yeah. So a little bit about this episode. We're going to talk about a little bit about the NBA trades to begin with, and then most of the rest of the show is going to be about the Super Bowl preview. And yeah, so we'll get started. Klukas,
All right.
off.
As you probably saw on the Instagram, on the Work the Crowd Instagram, I talked about the Luka Doncic trade this weekend, the earth-shattering news that kind of happened this weekend at midnight Saturday night. So, full breakdown of the trade. Lakers received Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavericks received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick from the Lakers. And the Jazz, who, again, I don't know if they had to just throw in here just to make money work or whatever, but the Jazz received Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 Clippers pick, and a second-round pick, and a 2025 Mavericks second-round pick. So let's just dive right into it. Essentially, Luka and AD, the two stars that swap teams. Yeah, it was, like I said, earth-shattering news. This pretty much made the whole world essentially just freak out.
I mean, it was almost like people's reaction where I was on Saturday. It was almost like somebody died.
So
That's
I'm
what
gonna
it
give
seemed
you
like.
my live reaction when I have, because I'm a nerd, have Shams, Chris Haynes tweet notifications. So when NBA news breaks, I get first updates on them before the Bleacher Reports and the ESPNs of the world post them out. So when Shams' tweet came to my phone, I was literally on the phone with my mom. We were talking, and then all of a sudden, mid-conversation, you just hear me go, "What the fuck?" And I was like, I gotta go. And she was like, what? I said, nothing. It's sports related. I promise. It's fine. Hung up.
Yeah, you probably
And,
freaked her out.
and hung up. And I'm texting my group, and I'm like, yo, not a drill. Luka just got traded. Not a drill. And again, why was this so shocking? There was no rumor behind it. There's no rumor that Luka was on the trade market. There's no rumor that Anthony Davis was even on the trade market. And for superstars of that caliber to just get traded out of nowhere has been unheard of. It's never happened before, especially at the trade deadline. Usually moves like that, where a superstar were to get traded or switch teams, happens in free agency. It never happens via trade like that. So for something like that to happen was amazing. The magnitude of this trade, even casual basketball fans that don't even really watch sports really to begin with, they just know from what they, see what other people say or what they hear at work or stuff like that. Even I had casuals coming up to me yesterday going, "Yo, did you see that trade on Saturday?" Yeah, that's how big this trade really was. So, Zach, I know you're not a hardcore NBA guy, but you follow it. What were your thoughts when you first saw the trade?
Well, I didn't see it till the next morning. I first saw it in a group meeting with my friends. They were all talking about it. So then the first thing I did, go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it's everywhere. It's like the only topic being posted by Bleacher Report, ESPN. I thought it was a joke when I first read it too. I had to go on there to validate it. It's to see not just a superstar, 25 years old, just traded out of nowhere. Like you said, there was no rumor of it. I don't even think they discussed it with any other teams. It was just the Lakers, and woke up the next day, Luka's traded, AD's traded. It was definitely blockbuster trade that shocked a lot of people. And it's, even if you watch videos like on social media, even NBA players were taken back by this. There's videos of Kevin Durant finding out on the bench from fans telling them, and it's unreal. Trades don't happen like this. It's shocking.
That to me was wild when you saw, because the Blazers and the Suns were playing as the trade happened in Portland, and you could see in the fourth quarter, during a timeout, fans were showing, right there, right behind Kevin Durant, and then were showing Like, hey, this
Live
just
reactions.
happened. And you see Kevin Durant grab this fan's phone and is looking at it and is like, and then you just see him hand the phone back and you can see him like mouth, like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? And to your, there was, so reported, there was one other team that the Dallas called about Luka if they wanted to trade with Luka. And apparently that team declined. And I really want to know what team declined a Luka trade, because I want to know where your franchise is at to where you could just say, no, I don't want a 25-year-old superstar. And that's the thing. It's just, like I said, what people aren't understanding either about this is this trade isn't for necessarily right now. Not saying that the Lakers are done. They're going to make another move probably for a big. I think they understand with AD they needed another big. Now, especially without AD, they're going to need another big. So they're not done. They're going to make another move, I think, before the deadline. But this trade isn't necessarily for right now. This is more so post LeBron. And this is 5-10 years down the road. You know, when the Lakers first made the trade for Anthony Davis back in 2019, 2020, that was their plan post LeBron, was this is our superstar we build around. Well, let's fast forward 5-6 years later. LeBron at 40 years old is still competing at like he's almost at his peak almost. Now Anthony Davis is 32 and you're going, well, we can't really build on this past LeBron. And if LeBron were to even retire this year, we really only have at max a 3-year window. We can't build off that. So, sure. And you're the Lakers. Your franchise has never been built off building through the draft. It's always been built on trades. You traded for Kareem. The only guy that you can say that you drafted that was your star was Magic. And they traded for Kareem. They traded for even Kobe on draft night. They traded for Shaq. They traded for Pau Gasol. They traded for Anthony Davis. LeBron came through free agency. You build your team with the money you have. And so there was only one pathway for the Lakers to move forward, and it was to trade one of these guys for something. And they did. And I get it. Anthony Davis, two-way player, one of the best defenders in the league. Luka, obviously great offensive player, not known for his defense at all. So I understand it where people are confused about it. But this, and again, will Luka and LeBron work? The time will tell. You know, what the NBA has shown us with guys with high usage ratage like Luka and LeBron, it's about a 50-50 chance of whether it's going to work. It's either going to work really, really well, or it's just not going to work at all. Yeah. So, and it's not just going to be a consistent thing. It's going to be a game-by-game thing. You're going to have games where Luka and LeBron look unstoppable. And when they're on their game, it's going to look like the Lakers are unbeatable. And there's also going to be games where it just doesn't work for a game, and you're going to go, I knew that wouldn't work. But, again, I think the Lakers are taking whatever they can for this year, and this is more so building next year and then obviously 5 to 10 years from now. That's what they're really looking at. So, not saying they couldn't compete now, but
yeah, they opened their window past LeBron's. What they did, like you said, this move is not necessarily for right now. It's for the future. They got somebody to build around. They have another face of their franchise, and a really good one too, not just some scrub. They have a superstar in the waiting now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to give a little credit to, or a lot of credit to Rob Pelinka, because I think he got a steal, if you want my honest opinion. I mean, I know AD is a great player right now, but he's getting older, and we don't know how much longer he has, really, because he's not always healthy.
That's the other thing. Big man's lifespan in the NBA is a lot shorter.
Luka's good for another 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
But so I think one of the shocking things for this was that I heard that they were talking to the Mavs for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
about this. I'm like, 3 weeks.
So apparently
nothing leaked out.
The Lakers.
I'm surprised about that.
About 2-3, which is right on the timeline. About 2-3 weeks ago, Anthony Davis was on ESPN, and he said,
"We need a big.
We're close, but I think we need another big." Apparently, Rob Pelinka, Lakers ownership, they did not like that he went public with that.
Really though?
which, I've seen plenty of people go public with stuff like that. And it's not like AD was saying, we're trash, we need this to, really get back. All he said was, we're right there on the cusp of competing for a title. We just need another big. Okay.
Seems a little sensitive.
They didn't like that. Okay. But listen, at the same time, there honestly, unless you have Giannis really, or at this point, Wemby, I think if the Dallas Mavericks would have called your team and said, "Hey, we want your star for our star," I think you're about, like I said, 28 out of the 30 teams are taking that. Wemby, you probably say, I think we have a very young prodigy that could be just as good. I think you maybe Giannis, you wouldn't, but I could see the Bucks have put Giannis in some trade talks. And that's more so Giannis being unhappy with the way things are going in Milwaukee. So maybe they would have, but there's very few people that wouldn't have taken that trade, which is why when the one team reported said they wouldn't, I really want to know who that team is, because I want to know where the state of your team's at to where you could say, I don't want Luka.
Yeah, and I'd like to know the team too, because I imagine those teams' fans would be pretty pissed off.
Very mad.
Yeah. And then as far as this year goes, listen, the Lakers, I think, are going to make a move. I think they're going to make a move for a big. Whether they could compete or not the rest of the year, I think is going to depend on which big they get. Now, the reported ones that they're going after are guys like Miles Turner, Nick Claxton from the Nets. They're also looking at Mitchell Robinson from the Knicks. If they were to manage to pull off a Miles Turner trade, listen, you're getting 2/3 of what Anthony Davis is out of Miles Turner. He's not full on Anthony Davis where he's going to give you potentially 30 and 15 a night. But Miles Turner is still going to give you the rim protection, and he's also going to give you the ability to spot up for a three as a big man. So you managed to pull off getting Miles Turner. Whether you would take the Lakers in any series that they end up, wherever they end up, if you're JJ Redick and I'm walking into a playoff series against any team in the West, and really any team from the East at that point, and I'm going, I have probably the two best players in this series on my team, I feel good about any series I walk into.
Yeah.
And for the Lakers, it's going to be dependent on what big they get. And really now, because of, the lack of defensive depth, this is where Jared Vanderbilt becomes very key. He's going to have to be healthy because he's really the key defensive piece for them. So as long as they can stay healthy, they get that big, the Lakers can still compete. Would I put them in the finals? No. But if you told me they made the Western Conference Finals, not going to be shocked because they have Luka and LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, time will tell. We'll see if this works. I think this either works and LeBron stays another couple years, or it doesn't work. And do we think he somehow meets up with Steph?
Listen, I know a lot of people wouldn't, because the LeBron haters are going to say, oh, of course he would. But listen, I've been trying to speak it into existence for a while. I just want to see LeBron, Steph, and KD on one team. I know they're the older guys. I get it. But to watch those guys just play together even for one season would be so great to watch. And honestly, we're talking about NBA viewership. We've talked about it before. You put those guys together, whether it be because you want to watch them fail or you want to watch them succeed, you're going to drive viewership up just by that. So, and also, let's talk about the Mavericks. How big of a fumble have the Dallas Mavericks had over the last 3 years? They lost Porzingis, and they traded him away. Okay, I could understand that. I can get behind that. He was injured. He was never really healthy for you. Okay, so you let him go. Then you let Jalen Brunson go, who's arguably been the best guard in the Eastern Conference for the last 2 to 3 years. And now you let Luka go. At one point, you had Jalen Brunson, Luka, and Porzingis all on this team. And then you traded for... I just still can't get over what would make you want to trade. I understand their concerns with his conditioning. And I know everybody's been making jokes of, oh, you traded him because he's a little chubby. But The guy just drug you to the finals last year, not even less than a year ago. He just took you to the finals, and you traded him not even a year later. That's wild to me. But the other report about that is that apparently they already had concerns about his conditioning. So apparently the original trade that the Mavericks wanted included Anthony Davis, Dalton Connect, and multiple first-round picks. And apparently Rob Pelinka of the Lakers was able to convince Dallas to, one, bring it down. But the reason why they were able to bring it down is because Rob Pelinka talked Dallas into Luka's conditioning.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I gave credit to Rob Pelinka. Steal, man.
Like, could you imagine being on the phone and just you're like, yeah, no, if I'm getting rid of Luka, I need 80 and multiple first-round picks, which would make sense.
Yeah.
And then I'm letting some guy go, are you sure? He's 270. You know, that calf may not be getting any better, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh.
I think you're right. Here's I think we'll just take AD.
And people didn't really bring it up until the next day. But this is what blows my mind. And I said it like immediately right out the gate. It took 5 first-round picks for the Timberwolves to get Rudy Gobert. It took 5 first-round picks for the New York Knicks to get Mikal Bridges. It took 1 first-round pick to get Luka Doncic.
Makes no sense. It really doesn't.
No, not at all.
Like, come on now. So, yeah, it just didn't make sense. And then the other trade that ended up happening on Sunday, yep. So it was another 3-team trade. Involved the Spurs, the Kings, and the Bulls. The Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings received Zach LaVine, Sidney Sissoko, 3 first-round picks. One is a 2025 Charlotte pick, 2027 Spurs pick, and a 2031 Minnesota pick. They also received 3 second-round picks from the Bulls, Nuggets, and then their own back in return from a previous trade. And then the Bulls, in return, got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 draft pick in return. Spurs, I understand 100%. De'Aaron Fox wanted to be in San Antonio. He wanted to pair up with Wemby. I get it. Pair up a star with your superstar. I get it. The Kings and Bulls make no sense.
No.
I want you all to realize the Kings, you talk about fumbles. The Kings at one point had De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, and Davion Mitchell on their team. Now none of them are on their team. They have no point guard. They're rolling with Malik Monk at their point guard for the rest of the year. And now your 3-guard set is Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan. Hey, it didn't work in Chicago. Let's see if it works in Sacramento. It doesn't make sense. And then the Bulls, who got rid of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. I want you all to think about this. They got rid of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in the last 2 years and have gotten no first-round picks in return.
Who's running these teams?
I just
I feel like we could just fucking do better.
I just don't understand. And they got their own 2025 pick back from the Spurs that they originally traded to get DeMar DeRozan originally. So they just got their 2025 pick back. So again, no harm, no foul there for them. They got nothing out of this, essentially.
I don't think you could do these trades. I didn't think you'd do these trades in a video game. Like,
no,
they're so lopsided.
The computer would decline it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. No doubt. Absolutely.
Nobody's bringing any analytics into these trades here.
And so, yeah, I do like De'Aaron Fox being in San Antonio.
Yeah, I think that's a good combo.
Now, how does Chris Paul take it? Does Chris Paul get bought out in San Antonio and he become a free agent and somebody to sign?
Let him go.
I mean, I don't disagree, but
he's the ultimate journeyman.
But listen, people made the joke after when he was in Phoenix and they lost the finals to the Bucks and then got outscored by the guy we just talked about. The whole Phoenix Suns team got outscored almost in the first half by Luka Doncic himself. Me and my buddies made the joke that he is no longer going to be called CP3 until he wins a title. His name is now Christopher Emmanuel Paul until
full name
he does something, but listen, I love De'Aaron Fox, but again, Bulls, Kings makes no sense.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Just like it makes no sense in Dallas. I get it. Anthony Davis, great player. Makes no sense. I think Dallas is still a second round exit at best. So, because you're going to rely on Kyrie Irving or Anthony Davis to be your number one option. And as history will tell you, it doesn't work. So, two teams won this weekend, those trades, and it's the teams that got the good player.
Yeah. So, and we're going to, we're recording this. It's Tuesday, February 4th. So we're going to see more trades by Thursday. So, you know, we'll Klugus will be making posts when those come out. So keep an eye out for that. So now I think we should just move on into what everybody's been waiting for this weekend. Super Bowl. What number is this now?
Super Bowl Sunday.
What number is this? 50 something.
59.
59. Super
Yep.
Bowl 59.
I couldn't remember if it was. I was wanting to say 57 for whatever reason, but
I mean, I honestly think it's going to be a good game, so I'm pretty excited for it.
well, I'm gonna open the floor. I'm gonna let the Eagles fan.
Yeah, so hold on. Let's give a little. Let's give
some background on
so
Zach.
Zach is from. Here, go tell the people a little bit about yourself, Zach. Go ahead.
Well, I live suburbs Philadelphia, about 25 minutes outside the city. All Billy fan here. Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, Phillies. Yeah. My whole life Philly fan. College, different story, but we don't have to get into that today. For people that don't know me, I met you guys through Scotty Schmidt, who I met through college.
Shout out, Scotty.
We all met each other down in Hilton Head. It was a pretty good,
an all-time great introduction.
That was a fun trip. Hey, you know what? We did meet some great Tennessee fans.
Oh yeah, nice videos of those conversations.
Yeah, we'll keep those.
Yeah, that's another day though. I don't know. So up here, sports radio is huge, and people talk about the Eagles in the middle of summer. They talk about them no matter what time of the year is, and they have so many hot takes up here. People just find reasons to bitch. They find reasons to celebrate. A lot of people this week around here think the Eagles are going to beat them by like 2 touchdowns. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that because I kind of felt that way last time we played the Chiefs, and I've learned that Patrick Mahomes really does not get blown out.
It's always a close game with them.
It's always a close game. Now, part of me wants to just hop on here and scream, yeah, Eagles 55-4 or whatever, to 3 or some stupid score. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be close. I think that the Eagles have to be able to run the ball, which they've ran the ball on everybody. They have Saquon Barkley, who's arguably should be the MVP this year, but probably won't get it. And then they have Jalen Hurts. Those two need to just hammer the ground game. The Chiefs have a good defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. He disguises his blitzes really well. One of Jalen Hurts' knocks is he can't pick up the blitzes. So that's going to be really key factor in this game is if he can recognize the blitzes, get the right coverage blocking for him. And I think they're going to make him throw the ball. That's the game plan against the Eagles. Anybody plays the Eagles, they try to stop Saquon Barkley to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, but they usually can't stop Saquon Barkley. So Jalen Hurts has not been tested too much this year, but I don't know. I have confidence in Jalen Hurts. He wins. That's the mantra here is people say he wins. Like I have friends that hate Jalen Hurts because he doesn't put up great passing numbers, and I got friends like myself that love Jalen Hurts because he just finds the way to win. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, I think the Eagles are winning this football game.
Yeah, that was something I was going to mention is that he's a really good game manager, I think. He, like you said, he doesn't really turn the ball over much. And when you have Saquon Barkley hand the ball off too, I mean, that's pretty nice. And you have somebody like A.J. Brown who can get open. So he just has to make the throw, just make a good decision. So I think he's a really good game manager in a type of game like this. You know, I think he's going to have to make a play eventually. I think the Chiefs defense is going to hone in on that run game. And, you know, I think he's going to make the play. I think it's going to be a really close game. He's going to I think he wants it bad. He's already been there and lost, and he wants it. They have nothing to lose. I mean, the Chiefs are going for a three-peat. So, I don't know. When a team has nothing to lose, I think they're pretty dangerous.
They are. So, my thing would be, I think the Chiefs, not saying that Barkley isn't going to get his. Barkley's always going to get his no matter what. I think for the Chiefs, you just have to stop the explosive Barkley runs. If you can contain him to, the 3, 4, 5 yard runs, you can live with that for the most part. It's the Barkley, what usually breaks the game out is the 50, 60, 70 yard breakoffs that he gets. And when you allow that, then you have defenses that are okay. Now we're just going to press up. We're going to put all these guys in the box, and that's where somebody like AJ Brown can get loose, because now we're talking one-on-one coverage with AJ Brown, and usually, depending on the matchup, if you have AJ Brown one-on-one with a corner, you're probably feeling good about that. And even same on the other side with Devontae Smith, but like you all said already, kind of alluded to, Steve Spagnuolo's the best. I would call him the best if you want to go top 3, top 5. Spagnuolo's the best defensive coordinator in the league in my eyes. He does do a very good job of disguising his blitzes. He makes you think that he's only rushing 5 when he's really rushing 6 or 7. And this game is going to simply come down to Jalen Hurts is going to have to make throws. He's going to have to stand in the pocket and make throws. And if he cannot do that, this is where the Chiefs take advantage, because now you're going to play right into the Chiefs where they want you. So, and on the flip side of that, for the Eagles, they're just going to have to get after Mahomes. They can't because the Chiefs are going to live off. If you let Mahomes dink and dunk you the whole game, they're going to live off that. And
that's what he's going to do. Like, I already know that's the game plan, because that's what Jaden Daniels did. Everything underneath.
Yeah, I mean,
he moved the ball down the field.
Me and Doug had said it. What Zach Ertz ended up with, like 15 catches.
Monster game. Kelsey's going to have the same.
And that's what we were like. Me and Doug at, like, watching the game. Like, yeah, the Eagles ended up blowing them out. Don't get me wrong. We were like, you allow Kelsey to have that room, you're not gonna be in the situation you are against the Commanders. You can't let Kelsey have 15 catches, especially underneath. And then especially when you get Kelsey going on that team, now you open up the door for Worthy to have big plays with his speed. People forget that Hollywood Brown's on this team.
Yeah, he came back too.
And then DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to be their big play downfield. Like, everybody talks about the Chiefs don't have really weapons. People are underestimating the fact of DeAndre Hopkins, Worthy, and Hollywood Brown, and having these guys that haven't really had a moment just yet, and they're due for one. So you're going to have to get after Mahomes. That defensive line of Philly is going to have to get after Mahomes. If that offensive line in Kansas City is able to hold up, it's going to be a long day for Philly. So
now the Eagles, like a lot of people aren't talking about, is their defense. They have the number 1 defense in the country, and they have Vic Fangio, who is a very underrated coordinator compared to Spagnuolo. Now the Eagles don't blitz much under him. They rely on their line getting pressure. And another thing a lot of people are saying is Jalen Carter is going to have to wreck this game in the middle there if they want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that the strength of the Kansas City offensive line is the interior. You're going to have to get them from the outside. So your guys like Nolan Smith and them, they're going to have to beat the tackles on the outside. And they have the speed to beat them on the outside. And that's just where they're going to have to win this. Now, I'm not saying in the interior Carter's not going to be able to get his, but that's the strength of the Kansas City O-line, is the interior. The other thing that people aren't really talking about is the Chiefs' run game isn't great, but again, they just nickel and dime you the whole game. And the fact that they've essentially been using Kareem Hunt all playoffs, and somebody like Isaiah Pacheco is, fully ready to go, like, 100%, he's due for a break off. Kareem Hunt can still give you flashes of old school Kareem Hunt every now and then. It's definitely going to be a close game. This is not going to be a blowout on either side of the ball. It's going to be a close game, and the only thing, if you're the Eagles and this is a tie ball game, or you're going down, just need a field goal to tie it or something, you better waste every bit of clock you can. and don't you
Don't
don't
give
even
Mahomes
leave a
much time.
second on the clock for
Yeah,
Mahomes.
there was a topic this week on one of the radio stations was, would you rather be up, say 5 points with a minute to go, or would you rather be down? And I don't know, because of that quarterback on the other side. He finds ways.
Every time he's gonna find a
Mhm.
way.
If I'm the Eagles, I'd rather have the ball in a 2-minute drill trying to score at the end there instead of giving Mahomes that chance. I would rather have the ball in my hands and instead of having to rely on having to stop him and Mahomes. We'll see. The spread right now I think is 1.5
Mhm.
Chiefs, which
Yeah.
is probably
It's
a good
essentially
line.
gonna.
I mean,
It's
it's going to be
essentially
a
a
pick 'em.
pick 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, we're going to talk about what our predictions will be for score here in a little bit, but let's talk about what
It is 1.5 still. Just
Okay.
so you know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what everybody's really talking about. How the refs going to fuck the Chiefs or the Eagles?
Referees. Yeah, the referees.
Let's talk about
man,
that for a
get me
second.
on this topic here.
What's going to happen, Zach? What's going to happen?
Well, before I came on here, I was looking at my phone. I guess they had the media day yesterday, and somebody really asked Patrick Mahomes who's his favorite ref was when he helps him win.
That's perfect.
Was dying. No, but yeah, he gets benefits of calls. I will die on that hill. I don't know, and it's not even like when he came into the league, I actually really liked him, and then you can start to see like I think it wasn't the last game, but it was the Texans when he got not even pushed out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds and his arms flail up in the air. I'm like, dude,
Oh, he
this guy.
flopped.
And then like when they played the Eagles, I don't know if it was in the Super Bowl or last year in the regular season, he threw a ball and he fell on the ground. The ball was incomplete and he rolled over and he yelled at the ref, "Where's the flag?" And then the flag came out. So he's a little whiny bitch. I don't even know. Part of me wants him to just get knocked out of this fucking game, and then bitch Carson Wentz comes in, and the Eagles
Okay,
can kick his
so
ass too.
so let's. I want to ask you that
I love
because
it.
so I have a buddy here that's also an Eagles fan that we were golfing yesterday, and I said hypothetical. Mahomes gets knocked out of this game, can't return. Carson Wentz checks in and has the game of his life and beats Philadelphia. What's the state? Where's your head at that point?
I'd be sick. I'd be so sick to my stomach. I don't even know. I'd probably go right to bed. I don't know if I'd go to work the next day.
I said I don't know if there can be any better storytelling for Carson Wentz at that point.
I know. I mean, it'd be good for him. Great for him, but
He said if Carson Wentz checks in and starts having a great game, he said we're going to go up to the booth and pull Nick Foles out of the stands and put him in.
yeah, that would be fitting.
Speaking of Nick Foles, who's a better quarterback, Nick Foles or Tom Brady? I mean, one caught a Super Bowl pass
Yeah.
and one didn't.
I don't know,
So
man. I'm gonna pick Nick Foles.
he's the Phillies GOAT. I love it.
He's the better backup. He's the best backup of all time.
Damn straight.
You can't take that from him.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely not.
can't argue it. All right, so let's go into it. Doug, we'll start with you.
Predictions?
Super Bowl prediction. Let's get a score prediction, and then obviously your winner.
So score-wise, I think it's going to be 25-28 Chiefs. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is exactly what we talked about. The Eagles are going to leave too much time for Mahomes. He's going to come down, game-winning field goal for Harrison Buckner.
So real quick, that's the other underrated
Whatever.
part about all this is everybody talks about how clutch Mahomes is. Nobody talks about how good Harrison Butker really is.
He's insane. Yeah, he's insane.
So, yeah. But, okay, so you're going 28-25 Chiefs?
Chiefs, yep. That's my prediction.
All right, Zach?
Honestly, I haven't really thought of a score yet, but part of me feels like it's going to be.
So the over-under, just to give you a little bit context, the over-under is 49.
48 and a half.
48 and a half. Sorry.
Yep, 49. Same thing.
I think it's going to be like 30-23 Eagles. Eagles defense going to surprise some people. Chiefs get a score late in the game. Eagles dominate it. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. Patrick Mahomes, little bitch.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is from the Philly fan. Oh, dude, don't bark. Come on. And Zach's dog got a prediction in there.
Yep, that was his prediction.
Log
that in FanDuel right now.
Clucas, go ahead, buddy.
Real quick, just doing mine now. I do think it is a close game, and because my money's on this exact score right now, I'm going 31-28 Chiefs. I do think it comes down to Mahomes has the ball, last possession, drives the ball downfield, and it ends with a Chiefs field goal to walk off the three-peat.
So if the Chiefs do win, does Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift on the field?
Oh, 100%.
Think that
I
happens?
think everybody's thinking that.
Has to, right?
Yeah, 100%. He definitely is.
You going to Disneyland? No. I'm going on my honeymoon, so I'm marrying Taylor Swift. That's what's going to happen.
Yep. He's going to turn right around, drop to his knee.
Yep. He, yeah, you know what? I mean, you know, I like Travis Kelce. I like both the Kelce brothers. I think they're awesome. So, I mean, you know, I'd be happy for him.
It's kind of hard, whether you like the Chiefs or not, to not like the Kelces.
Oh, dude. They're so cool.
They are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got 31-28 Chiefs. Again, that's what my money's on as well. So,
all right, what about, here's a couple things. Coin toss. What's it going to be? Heads or tails?
Ooh, tails never fails.
Tails. Put a grand on it. Put a grand on it.
So if you're going out there, you're in an Eagles uniform, you're suited up, ready for the Super Bowl. You go out there for the coin flip. You're picking tails all day. You pick tails, or you think it's going to be tails?
No, I pick tails. I always pick tails. I mean, from the coin tosses. So.
All right.
Tails never fail.
Tails never fails. All right. What about the Gatorade color?
Ooh.
I actually bet on this.
Oh, you did? Nice.
I only bet on it because the odds were good. What did I do? I did I think purple. I bet one was purple and one was orange, just because the odds.
I was
decent,
thinking.
So
I was thinking orange.
I'm thinking it's going to be green.
I don't
like the lime green.
Yeah.
Like the normal, like the original Gatorade lemon lime.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Dude, there was one option.
That's yellow.
Or yellow, whatever. It's
the yellow Gatorade.
Yellow.
You said green. I swear to God, let me go to an NFL field and see lime cucumber Gatorade in one of these Gatorade containers. I'll lose it.
I don't know anybody that likes that.
I do.
Dude, one of the options for betting the color was water.
That's crazy.
I've never seen water be dumped on somebody.
No shot. That's going to be water.
That's crazy. Yeah, my bet would probably be orange. That would be.
All right.
Yeah.
That'd be my safe
another
bet.
one. Another question here. What, I guess, brand or company has the best commercial?
Oh, yeah.
What do we think? I think it's going to have to be Bud Light because of the previews we're getting with Shane Gillis and
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
No, and Post Malone.
Post Malone. Sorry, that's what it is.
I think it's going to have to be Bud Light for me.
I'm trying to think who usually has good ones. Doritos usually has pretty good ones.
Doritos has a real good one usually.
Last time we had a commercial that was it last year? Or it might have been the year before, where it was just a QR code. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
When it was a while back. But remember when we got that commercial when Tom Brady faked his retirement on a commercial?
Yeah.
Who was that?
I forget. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
It just came across my feed where I was like, "Damn, Tom Brady faked all of y'all out." I forget who it was. That was a really good one. It usually is Doritos that has a really good one.
Budweiser, I think, usually.
Budweiser usually has a real good one.
Bud Light, so that's
yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's got, just because of having Shane Gillis and Post Malone, I feel like it's got to be Bud Light.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about the Super Bowl. Even if you're not a football fan, people still watch it just for the commercials.
Yeah.
So you got to tune in to the whole thing.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. It'll be entertaining, that's for sure. Hope it's a good game.
I think it's.
We just need to make a national holiday out of the Monday after. the Super Bowl.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, I
now,
know.
If Philly wins, Zach, are you taking off?
I might. Yeah, I might. Like, I went when they won the Super Bowl in 2017. Like, after they won it, I went in on the Broad Street with the crowd of people, watch people climbing the poles and shooting off fireworks. I went to the parade.
You said they already greased them up, right?
Yeah, they did. But I don't know. I don't think I'm doing that this year. It's just too many people and that crap in New Orleans with the dude with the truck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in that crowd anymore.
That's true. I don't blame you.
We're too old for that now.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, I need sleep, work.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that pretty much.
Well,
Does
hold
it,
on.
right?
I know Zach had something for me about Jalen
Oh yeah,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts hater over here.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a hater.
What about it?
Well, so from what Doug has told me, you have issues with my thoughts on Jalen Hurts.
He was listening to the last episode about the QB rankings.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was wrong with that?
What did I say? I just asked if you didn't like Jalen Hurts and you're a Hurts hater. I could tell from
I
stuff
put
you
him
were
at,
saying.
he's in the star tier. So I don't think it's
So wait, his record against Mahomes, Burrows, Allen, and Lamar is 4-2.
okay. So does that
Ooh.
mean he's in that same tier?
I would. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is a beast, man. And I'm
I
saying
don't know.
if he wins on Sunday,
He
where does he
definitely
rank then?
he climbs up the rankings. I don't think he moves
Does
out
he?
of the star tier though.
He doesn't climb to the.
But then he has 2 wins against Mahomes and 1 in the Super Bowl, which none of those other guys even have 1 in. Or Allen has 1 in the playoffs, right or no? Against
No.
Mahomes.
No, Allen's never beat
No,
Mahomes in the
Burrow
playoffs.
has.
Burrow has.
Yeah, Burrow. Yeah,
I'm not a Hurts hater. I think Hurts is good.
I know.
But
I'm just with you, dude.
no, I know, but it's just like it's like at some point though, like so. Here's a perfect example. So after they won the NFC Championship game against the Commanders, they asked Jalen Hurts, because he had a good game throwing the ball against the Commanders, and they were talking about that, and he said, "Yeah, they took the straitjacket off me." Well, to quote my guy Nick Wright, he said, not to get too psychological about it, but if you're handcuffed, that means I'm protecting you from others. If I put you in a straitjacket, I'm protecting you from yourself. So that means a straitjacket, if you look deep down into it, means I don't want you to do this because you're going to hurt the team. So do they just not put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hand? It's kind of like when Michigan won the national championship last year, and we talked about, is J.J. McCarthy a first-round talent or not? And the debate went back and forth because we're like, it's a two-sided argument. It's, well, he didn't have to throw because they ran the ball so well, or is it he didn't throw because the offensive coordinator knew he couldn't throw, so they just ran the ball all the time? So, not saying that's the same for Jalen Hurts. We know Jalen Hurts can throw, but in certain games, do we not have him throw the ball because we don't trust him, or do we not have him throw the ball because the run game works so well? It's a two-sided thing.
Yeah.
And so that's my thing. In the last Super Bowl we saw the Eagles and Chiefs playing, Hurts had an all-time performance throwing the ball. I can't take that away from him. You could have argued, even as a loser, Jalen Hurts was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But outside of that, have we ever seen Hurts in a position where game's on the line, this game is on you? And how many times have we seen that?
No, and I was talking about with somebody else. I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but off the top of my head, none of them.
So that's my thing. Like, if we, as a Philly fan, Zach, if we get to a position where 2-minute drill, you're down, let's say 6. So it's not necessarily, you have to have a touchdown, but the touchdown wins the game, essentially. Can't get a field goal. And you're on your 20-yard line starting off. You have to go 80 yards in 2 minutes. Do you feel good about Hurts driving that ball downfield to win the game?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not saying I don't have complete faith, but I
do, because he's smart too. He really rarely puts the ball in harm's way. I know last year he did, and that was a knock. People knocked on him all off season about, but I don't know. I would like to see it, because I think last Super Bowl, and it also depends how he's playing. If he's playing like how he played last Super Bowl, oh yeah, I'm gonna have confidence in him. If he's playing where he's 12 for 25 at the moment with 110 yards, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous. But no, it's something I've been wanting to see, and a lot of people here want to see if he can do it too.
So I also saw a wild stat the other day, real quick for you before you go, Doug. I don't know. I don't remember the actual, because I didn't save it and I should have saved it. But there's like a percentage. It's like a wild percentage. It's like 20. It's like somewhere in between 20 to 25% of Jalen Hurts' throws this year have been throwaways.
That's quite a lot.
So, again,
Well, that's because he doesn't want to he don't want to turn the ball over.
I mean, yeah.
He was
So-
also, before he got hurt, he was also top 5 in 20-plus yard throws. So
No, he's a great deep ball thrower, and obviously that comes with having help with when you have AJ Brown that you can just throw it up to.
So that's what I was going to say. Let me segue into my point real quick. Who on the last Super Bowl when they played the Chiefs? Who was the Eagles' top receiver?
it was AJ Brown.
Yeah, AJ Brown was there.
Was he still there?
Yeah,
Same
that was
one,
his that was his first year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So AJ Brown is now seasoned more and has been with the team more. I think it's not just Hurts. I think he is the difference maker. I think if he gets open, or Devonta Smith, who also
that's who this game
the combination between them and Smith being the speed guy going downfield, the deep threat, and AJ Brown just gets open. I mean, he and Hurts is going to put the ball on the money.
Well, I think really the X factor for the Eagles is not AJ Brown, it's not Devontae Smith, it's not Barkley. I think this game falls on can Goddard get open over the middle. If you can, because we know in football, you make the throws over the middle, everything on the side becomes more wide open.
Yeah.
Because teams start to collapse.
Playing.
So if you can get Goddard open over the middle, and hell, if you can even get, like, I know he hasn't necessarily played well this year, if Jahan Dotson can get a little loose over the middle as well, it opens up everything on the outside. So I think those two guys specifically are more of X factors than the other guys, because we know what AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Barkley can do, but it's what can everybody else do to help them get open. So
yeah. It's gonna be a fun game, guys. It's gonna be a fun game.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, it's always fun going up against the champs too. It's a challenge.
Get a chance to knock them off, right?
Yeah, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Unless
to
you're
be
Kevin
the man,
Durant.
you got to beat the man.
Kevin Durant just joins them. All right, Zach, you got anything else for us? Anything else you want to add?
EAGLES, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Go Birds.
I'm glad we know Philly fans know how to spell. That's a good thing.
Oh, my God.
Unlike our mayor, ELG.
Oh, shit. All right, well, go ahead, Zach.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Seriously. I'd love to do it again. Love to do it again. Even if the Eagles or Philly team aren't playing, I just come on, talk sports, enjoyable. So
sweet, right, sweet. We'll keep that in mind. We'll have you on again, buddy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. You guys enjoy the game too.
All right, guys. If you like this episode, give us a follow on whatever podcasting hosting you listen to: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. We're on all of those. This video will be posted on YouTube. So if you're not watching right now, go look at our YouTube page, Work the Crowd Media. And Hey,
and if you want to be on next, if you want to be the next Zach,
let us know. We'll get you on.
It's a tough act to follow, but you can be it.
All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. See ya.
See ya.